Good afternoon guys. I'm going to be making a video today on how to replace a bottom bracket. We're going to be using this bicycle over here as just basically a demonstration on how to do that. And also this is a threaded bottom bracket, so you get different bottom brackets and there's different methods and different ways of changing them. But for those of you that have a threaded bottom bracket, generally it's all the same, so this would be a nice video for you guys to start learning how to do your own maintenance and your own repairs. I quite enjoy doing my own maintenance, my own repairs, as then I know what's been done to my bicycle, and also if I have a problem while I'm riding, I know how to repair it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if there's any more how-to videos, please subscribe and please leave some comments, and we can start doing some of those how-to videos that you guys might be wanting to see. With that being said, I'm going to show you guys just some of the tools that I'm going to use today. Obviously I don't have all of them, but there are a few that you need. So with regards to a threaded bottom bracket, you're going to need one of these. So it's a Park Tool BBT9. This I use to loosen the threaded bottom bracket, and then I use an Allen key obviously for my crank. This is a 5mm Allen key to be able to pull the crank apart, to be able to remove it from the bottom brackets. And then when it comes to the chain, if you need to get the chain to the right length, we always use a chain breaking tool. So I've got one of those here today. And to remove the master link, I use normal water pump pliers. You obviously get special tools for that, but I mean this works just as well, and you might have this in your garage, so less expense for you guys. So yeah, we're gonna get into this and let's get going. Okay, so first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing the chain. So I'm going to just push the derailleur like that. As you can see, the chain goes slack, and then I just pull it off here like that and move it away from the crank. Okay, so some of the guys can put a cloth there if they're worried about a damage in the frame, and it just gives a little bit more ease with regards to removing the master link. So there's the master link over there, so I generally just hold it like that, and then I'll take the water pump pliers. So the reason why I use a water pump pliers, obviously it's easier to, as you can see, just one there, and just do that. And there you go. There's the master link. And you just wiggle it off, and your chain is removed. Okay, so we're going to be removing this little plastic thing that pushes the crank against the shaft. So I don't have a tool for that. I generally just use 2 Allen keys. So normally what I'll do is I'll slide the 1 Allen key in just to find a space where it fits nicely, and then you can just turn it out like that. Once it's loose, you can generally just turn it with your fingers. This doesn't have to be extremely tight once you put the crank back on, it's just there to push it onto that shaft over there. Once we've got that off, there's 2 little Allen keys, one on this side of the crank and one on this side of the crank that we need to loosen. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, you don't have to turn these all the way out. We just need to get them to a point where they are loose, so that we can pull the crank arm off. So crank arm should, there we go, slide off. As you can see, that's the one crank arm, and then you've got a loose crank over here. So generally you can just push it through and slide it out. As you can see, it builds up water over here from when you wash the bike, so that's why it's quite important to check the bottom bracket regularly, otherwise you're going to mess up your crank. Okay, we're now going to be removing the one side of the bottom bracket. So this tool slides over into those little grooves over there, and this side turns that way to get it off. And once it's loose, it's fairly easy to turn it off. So it comes off this way, and then you can slide this little tube out, and there you go. So I'm going to remove the other side. As you can see, it is opposite thread from one side to the other. And And there you go, bottom bracket out. So I don't know if you can hear, but this one is quite rough. This one's also quite rough. So it's not going to last very long. I do keep these sort of things as spare. I would also suggest that you guys, if you do race and into events, to keep parts that haven't completely demolished or completely worked its way out, keep it as spare, so that you at least have something spare if you do have a problem while you're in a race, that you've got something that you can fix it with. So now what you need to do that's quite important is just to clean out all of this to make sure that it's nice and clean inside here. So I normally just push a cloth through. Okay, so I'm going to be replacing it with a Shimano bottom bracket. It's an SMBB52. So as you can see, it comes as the two halves. It's already been greased inside. It's got a little bit of thread locker on it, and I've put some grease inside there as well, just so that it threads on quite nicely. So you've got the different sides. You've got this one. You've got the little shims, so you take that out of the packet. So don't forget to put your shims in between the bottom bracket and the frame of the bicycle. And then this is the opposite side. And the opposite side has the tube already obviously in it. And when you put this end, when you screw the two together, it'll push itself onto there. So that hopefully you don't get water inside, but it does happen. So as you can see, I've put the little shims on either one of them. So just remember that there is opposite thread on these things. So just check before you just go and turn it in that you actually have it going in the right direction, because you'll end up damaging the threads on the bottom bracket as well as on the bicycle. So those go in like that. So there you go. And then you can take your tool, slide it into the slots, and start tightening it up. Obviously it gets a little bit tighter when it goes to the thread locker, but that's just to prevent it from coming loose while the bike is in use. And we just button them up like this. Okay, we're now going to slide the one half of the crank in, so that goes in over here. As you can see, it goes in fairly easy. See some of the grease comes out. And the crank over here. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to put the second arm in, and I'm just going to wipe off some of this sand that's on here before we put the arm on. There's a thicker space over there, so generally that would line up. So as you can see, this crank arm is down, so now the one on the opposite side needs to go up like that for it to fit in place, as you can see over there. So that one's like that, that one's like that, and the crank is fitted. So now what happens is you've got to put this goodie back on. So you put turn in there, and you don't want to have any play, as you can see there. So we will take my little Allen key contraption over here. You don't have to make it too tight, you just don't want to have play on the crank. Once you've sorted that out, you can tighten these little Allen keys over here. They don't need to be extremely tight, you just want them tight enough that they won't come loose. Don't forget to do both sides, so that both sides are nice and tight. So there shouldn't be any play, and it's nice and smooth. So if I turn it around. You can't hear a thing. It's so nice and smooth. Wipe away the excess grease. Okay, so those of you at this point would now, if you're not putting a new chain, just put your chain back over. But I'm going to be fitting a new chain, so I'm fitting a SRAM 10-speed chain today. So we're just going to check to see that the chain is the right length. So just remember, on most of these single speeds, you've got narrow and wide. So make sure your wide is in the wide slot on the chain so that it meshes properly. And we'll just bring it over to here. Okay, we're going to feed the chain through here. Take it onto the cluster over there and round the derailleur that way. So then we're going to go inside here, onto the jockey wheel this way, and pull it through. So now we're going to check to see if the chain would be the right length, and would you look at that, it's the right length. So now I'm just going to off hook it from here again, just to make it easier for me to get the master link on. Okay, so we're busy with the master link, so I'm just going to put this piece here, this one is there, we're going to slide them over like that, and now we want to try and lock them obviously into place. If you get the tool for the master link, it makes it fairly easy. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my pliers again, just to press on either end of the link, just like that, and there you go, master link is on. Okay, so now what we're going to do, turn the crank like that, and once again just move the derailleur forward to make it easier, and don't forget it's narrow wide, so just make sure it links in properly. And we've got a brand new chain and a brand new bottom bracket, and that's how it's done, guys. Okay, so guys, we have now assembled a bottom bracket, we have now assembled a new chain on the bicycle. If there's anything else that you guys would like to see, or anything that you'd like me to do, please list it in the comments section, and we'll put a whole lot of videos on how to maintain your bicycle that would make life easier for you and also more cost effective for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great afternoon further.